Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth and Sky. Each of you joining us online, we appreciate you joining in with us every week. We like to bring a variety of topics here and try to switch it up all the time, but something that has been pressing on my heart quite a lot over the last few weeks has really come to a sense of feeling a little bit of urgency to talk about it this week. And that concept is about leading with love. This is something that I have found in my life to be my main guiding compass and something of utmost importance within the next couple of days that will be on each of you to lead with love, or however you choose to do it, if this feels like something that is a fit for you. Have you ever been at a point in your life where you felt like you were really struggling with sadness? Perhaps you were at a point in your life where you just felt so overwhelmed, you weren't sure how you would be able to come out of whatever felt insurmountable at that point in your life. We all go through these periods in our life. When you reflect back on yours and when you were at a point where it just felt either so bleak or so overwhelming or so agonizing, maybe it was the deadline that you had or an emotional situation that you were doing your best to work through, and you might have had somebody that came into your life that brought in some perspective, somebody that came into your life that helped you to see that even when it feels so dark and so hard and you're not sure what to do, that there really is hope that is in sight, that there really is a path out of wherever that despair has taken you in your life. That is a person that came to you, that helped you through that, provided a beautiful example of leading with love. Sometimes leading with love is something that we do when we don't even know that that would be the label that we put on it. We're not even sure that we would categorize it or even think that much about it. And you may have noticed times in your life where you ran into somebody, maybe it was a good friend or a family member, and you saw that they were really struggling, or you could feel that there was something really weighing on them, and you decided to give of your own energy, to give of your own time, or to give resources to them because you felt so compelled in wanting to help, to give them a helping hand in whatever way it was that they needed. That is a beautiful example of leading with love. Have you ever been in points of your life where you just weren't sure quite where to turn, and maybe you felt really alone? Maybe you didn't feel like you had anybody in your corner in that time of life. Perhaps it was a stranger that showed you kindness. Or perhaps there was a time when you were growing up and the examples that you were growing up with that lived in the home with you weren't really the examples of what you wanted to come into being in your life. But you had somebody that came in as an adult that had an example of the way they lived their life, that became an example to you of how you chose to live your life. That was leading with love. You've heard me talk so many times about the concept that at the heart of every problem, no matter what it is that we're trying to fix, no matter what it is, whether it's a miscommunication within people, whether it is something where you feel something tragic happened or something was so unjust, at the core of whatever that problem is a feeling of a lack of love. At the heart of everything in this universe, where there is something that is out of balance, that isn't moving in a way that brings joy and fills the energy and the air and the space with life, there is a lack of love. And what we need to do is come back to a return to love within ourselves, and a return to love that we then share with others. That is the concept I keep feeling with this movement of lead with love. It's a phrase that I felt coming in very strong from the universe a couple of months ago, and I keep hearing that echoing within my head, leading with love, and kind of trying to devour power. What does that mean? What does that mean in this context, in that context? And it really is about allowing ourselves to pull out of our own smaller aspects that we feel are so big in our own lives. Sometimes we feel like the things that matter most to us are in the day-to-day, the passing moments of things. And maybe what really is in a bigger picture is looking at what is missing all around us that causes a feeling of sadness, that causes a feeling of fear, that causes a feeling of terror or a feeling of despair. At the core of each of those feelings is the feeling of the awareness of the sensation of having a lack of love, whether it is a lack of love for yourself or a lack of love of not understanding other people or not being able to see the full picture for other people. At the core of all of us, every single soul that has life on this planet, at the core of every single one of our lights is love. We are never truly separated from it, but we so often cause these chasms and voids that are so large where we feel like we can't even move across the big crevasse that is a valley that is lost in looking for love. But when we shift within ourselves and we recognize that we have tremendous power inside our very own selves, inside every action that we take in this world, we have an ability to lead with love. We can lead with love with the words that we say to others, and we need to follow that up with the actions as well, showing that it's not just our minds thinking this, but that we are invested in moving forward this movement of love, that we are invested in creating a world where our future is bright with one another, that we are willing to rise into a place where we no longer let fear rule our decisions, a fear of what might be, or a fear of what we worry could happen as the worst case incident. And instead, when we pull ourselves out of that chasm and we rise into a place where we stand in our power and we know that we can lead with love, it allows us to see the light and the spark that is in every single human being. It allows us to see the light and the spark and the dignity within every single soul, be it animal or person or any experience that we have in this life. When we start to see the similarities that we have that are so much greater than the differences that sometimes get focused on, it allows us to step back into remembering how we can lead with love. Whenever there is any situation that's going on in my life and I'm not sure what decision I need to make, whether it is a business decision or a relationship, a personal relationship, or a client or a friend, whatever it is that I'm trying to figure out, what do I do in this situation? How do I fix this? What choice do I make? The one question that I always come back to asking myself is, where is the love? And how do I lead with love? How do I make my actions count in a way that lead us to the core, which is love? That essence of love is the home, the sense of home for all of us. When you think within yourself, how did I feel at the moments in life where I felt happiest, where I felt safest, where I felt most comfortable? When you look inside yourself with that, you're going to see a feeling of love. You're going to find and remember how it felt to be loved. Whether it was another person attached to that or not, love is not always attached to another person, but it will bring you back to the sense of home, because that is what we are made of. We are made of this essence of divine, holy, vibrant, radiant light that is love. And when we allow ourselves to return to that and to ask that question, whenever there is any big decision that we need to make, where is the love? And let yourself sit back and become the observer of the situation. Allow yourself to let go of all of the thoughts and the things that you expected to see, and look from a second opinion, or having a blank observer, and you're just looking to see, where is the love? Whenever there is fear, that is the opposite of love. Wherever you feel yourself moving into fear, let yourself come back to the compass of love. Love brings a feeling of safety and security and warmth. Love brings a sense of community and togetherness and trust. And we have some amazing and big examples that are coming up with huge decisions that we need to make. And you might have already made those decisions in your life, and there you might find yourself currently facing many decisions in your life where you're trying to figure out, what do I do? This can even apply to if you are moving and you're trying to figure out, do I move to this city or do I move to that city? Where do you feel like you will find the love? When you look at all of the pros and all of the cons of each of those lists that you might be creating on whatever the decisions are, look at where is the love? Where is the lack of fear? And how do you lead with love? We have a really big one that's coming up for everybody with the election that's coming up. I am not one typically to talk about politics, certainly not in a public forum such as this, and I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I do want to ask you to lead with love. If you are still trying to figure out what decision to make and who to put into office and where does your heart tell you that you need to vote, look at where do you feel the love? Where do you see the light? Where do you find that there is an absence of fear and a wealth of love? When you ask that inside yourself, it will create a feeling within you. It will create a sense of trust within you. There will be aspects where you can see that there is joy. There will be aspects that you can see where you recognize the heart of love, where you recognize that centered aspect of being able to feel that you can trust in the okayness of things. There's an essence that you will be able to trust in knowing that whether this is a hard decision, I know a lot of people are finding this to be a very hard decision. Others are finding it to be a very easy decision. But if you are finding this to be a hard decision, maybe you need to ask, how do I lead with love? Where do I feel my conscience telling me that I can lead with love? And follow that voice within yourself. Follow that instinct within yourself, because if we all rise together, if we all stand shoulder to shoulder with one another, and we reconnect again with the inherent dignity of every single soul, of everyone that is here, that allows us to be able to come to a place where we can now lead with love. It raises the vibrancy within each of us. It raises our own dignity by seeing the dignity in others. It raises our own light when we choose to see the light in others. It raises the love in ourselves and the ability to feel love from others when we allow ourselves to lead with love. And so I ask that you examine all the choices you have right now in your life. And if there are things that you are really struggling with or you are uncertain of, ask, where can you lead with love? And what does that mean to you? That may mean different things to different people, but it's a beautiful question, and it is one that I ask myself on a daily basis whenever I'm trying to figure out decisions, or I'm looking at where I need to go, even where I need to grow my business, or where I need to move on a certain issue, what I need to choose, how to have a conversation. It is asking that within ourselves. How can I lead with love? Where is the love? How can I inspire that? How can I lift that up higher? And allow yourself, when you choose to lead with love, allow yourself to then relax and to rest and to be open to feeling the love that comes back to you. That is one of the beautiful things that comes with leading with love, is that your heart then opens, your mind then opens, and you are able to feel this beautiful essence that flows back into you. The ability to lead with love puts us in touch with feeling the essence of love and knowing that essence of love and being able to trust that within ourselves. What we focus on is what we attract to ourselves. What we put to rest as far as fears allows us to stand in our power instead, and to rise in the essence of love, to create that, and then to feel that flow that radiates within us and around us. It makes life worth living. It brings joy to the everyday. It is such a beautiful and empowering and incredible essence to be able to tap into that wisdom, to feel that within the very core of your soul when you choose to lead with love. Allow yourself to open to that. Allow yourself to lead with it, not just placing your words there, but choosing to take the steps that bring us into a place of creating a world filled with love. It will not steer you wrong. It will strengthen us, it will empower us, and it will help us to rise into the greatest beings that we can be when we lead with love. Thank you for joining us for this week, and thank you for choosing and examining within your life how you can lead with love. Where can you shift some of your actions? Where can you empower yourself? Wherever you feel hurt parts within yourself, fill those with love, and it dispels the fear, and it brings up your strength. And when you feel your cup is full of this, allow yourself to fill the light in others so that they can feel the love as well, creating a beautiful unity, creating an empowered essence, and creating a place where we all rise, we all stand, we all shine, and we lead this place with love. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to visit our website if you haven't already, earthandskyscenter.com. Have a great week, everyone.